Greetings, everyone. This is Carlos Garcia III with Roadway to Authorship. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the prequel. So, I don't feel like I did justice to the story of Joseph in the beginning. So, we're going to go over Genesis chapter 37, where Joseph was I will put it this way, he was pretty cocky. He was pretty proclaiming about himself. God would give him dreams, and he would tell all his family, and his dream was that his family would all bow down to him. And he had dreamt that they were all sheaves of wheat, and all the sheaves of wheat encircled around him and bowed down to him. So that did come to pass many years later, but it was after a whole lot of trials and tribulations and hardships and rejections and overcoming a lot to get there. But in the beginning of this story in Genesis 37, we can see that Joseph was sent by his father to go check on his brothers. Joseph was 17. He had brothers that were probably twice his age. But guess who was in charge? He was the second youngest, and he was in charge of over all of his older brothers. His dad sent him with that multicolored coat that he had that also depicted authority, as well as it depicted like a favor, like favoritism in a sense. He was the most favored of his sons, and his brothers hated him for having had such favor with his dad. So you have to be careful, parents. You don't want a repeat. Okay. So Joseph then goes to go check on his brothers because they're supposed to be in a certain location. He goes to that location, finds out he's not there, and he's looking around, and he said, "Oh, your brothers went to Dothan, to a whole different city." So they weren't following through with what his dad told them. The dad told them to do, and now Joseph has a bad report to tell his dad about his brothers. So to avoid them getting in trouble with their dad, this is how it all happened, that they ended up putting him in a pit and were considering killing him. And instead, one of them said, "Hey, why don't we sell him instead?" And they ended up selling him, which brought him to Egypt. So now we got a better connection of the story. Okay? And keep in mind, in life, we go through situations, we go through hardships. But don't give up. Keep your eyes on the Lord. Keep calling upon His name. When he was in that pit, he begged for his life. He thought his life was over. He thought his brothers were going to kill him. He thought those dreams would never come to pass. But yet, God heard his cries, and God changed their hearts and perpetuated everything that brought him to greatness. And sometimes we go through hardships in our life, and it has a purpose, because God wants to renew it. What the enemy means for evil, God means for good. So God wants to redeem your life, and He wants to put purpose in your life, and He has put purpose in your life. And sometimes it's telling that story and writing it down, because what you've overcome helps other people overcome. So let's do it, and I'll see you soon.